Today we're taking a trip from the 1990s to right now, and we're talking about how music changed across gospel, rap, R&B, pop, and country. Not just the sound, but the entire ecosystem, the technology, the way artists break through, and how labels, big and small, fit into the picture.
Because it's wild when you think about it. In the 90s, if you heard a song you liked, you might have to wait for it on the radio again, or go to the store and buy the CD. Now, you hear a snippet on Instagram and the full song is in your headphones in 10 seconds.
Exactly. So let's start with the 1990s, because that decade really sets the stage. Back then the gatekeepers were powerful: radio, MTV, major labels, and certain magazines. If they didn't push you, it was tough to break nationally.
And the music formats mattered. Cassettes were still around early on, CDs were taking over, and sales were everything. Labels were built around selling units. That influenced how albums were made: longer track lists, big singles, music videos with real budgets.
And genre-wise, the 90s were stacked. In R&B you had strong vocal groups and powerhouse solo artists, that glossy but emotional production, and the rise of producers who became stars in their own right.
Rap in the 90s was having major growth spurts too, regional scenes becoming identities. You could often tell where somebody was from just by the drum patterns, the slang, the energy.
Pop was about big moments, radio-friendly hooks, huge choruses, and later in the decade you got that wave of teen pop and dance-influenced stuff dominating charts.
Country was evolving too. It kept that storytelling core, but it was also getting more polished and stadium-ready. The 90s were big for crossover appeal, artists who could pull in listeners beyond traditional country audiences.
And gospel was still deeply rooted in the church tradition, but you also saw contemporary gospel growing, with artists blending in R&B and pop sensibilities to reach people who might not be buying traditional choir records.
So that's the 90s, strong gatekeepers, physical sales, and genre scenes that felt like worlds. Then we hit the early 2000s and everything starts shifting because of the internet.
Yeah, the internet didn't just change how fans listen, it changed expectations. The first big crack in the old system was digital file sharing. Suddenly music wasn't only something you bought at a store. It was something you could find online, trade, download, burn onto CDs.
And from there, it led to legal digital storefronts and then eventually streaming. But that middle era, early 2000s, was a tug-of-war between old industry habits and new reality.
You could feel it in the music. Albums started getting tighter because people would cherry-pick singles. And ringtone culture even changed songwriting. Hooks became more immediate because you wanted that 20-second moment that sold.
And production changed fast. Software got cheaper, home studios got more powerful. You didn't always need a huge studio budget to make something that sounded competitive.
Which leads into how each genre adapted. Rap really took off with the internet era because mixtape culture exploded. Artists could build reputations without waiting for a traditional album rollout. And later, platforms made it even easier: drop a track, let the people react, repeat.
R&B in the 2000s leaned into smoother, more rhythmic sounds, and later blended more with hip-hop and pop. The line between genres started getting blurry, and collaborations became a big strategy.
Pop became more global. You started hearing influences from electronic music more and more, and then by the 2010s it's like pop fully embraces EDM-inspired drops, big synths, and that festival energy.
Country also broadened its palette. You still had traditional lanes, but you also got pop country, and later the debate got louder. What counts as country? What counts as crossover?
Gospel did something really interesting. It expanded by borrowing modern production styles, more contemporary drums, more polished mixes, while still keeping the core message. And it found new audiences through digital spaces. People didn't need to be in the building to be part of the experience.
Now let's talk about the biggest shift: social media and the new ways music travels. We went from radio programmers deciding what's hot, to the audience deciding in real time.
Right. Platforms like Twitter, well, X now, became places where fans rally behind songs. A single viral moment could create a wave. Facebook helped communities form, especially early on. And Instagram changed everything about branding, visuals, and direct-to-fan connection.
And the wild part is that social media didn't just promote music. It started shaping the music. Artists think about what will clip well, what line fits in a short video, what chorus can launch a trend.
Which is both exciting and complicated. On one hand, it's democratizing. You can be independent, record at home, and still reach millions. On the other hand, attention spans are shorter, and the pressure to constantly post can be intense.
Let's dig into the label landscape, because this is huge from the 90s to now. In the 90s, major labels were the main path to big distribution and big promotion.
And now you've got layers. Major labels still matter. They can fund big campaigns, secure top placements, open doors to mainstream press and major playlists. But independent artists and small labels can move fast and build loyal fanbases without the traditional machine.
Plus, distribution isn't locked behind a major anymore. You can upload through digital distributors and be on the same streaming platforms as superstar acts.
But the trade-off is that being independent often means you're the label. You're the marketing department. You're the content team. You're the booking agent sometimes. So freedom comes with workload.
And money works differently. In the CD era, selling a lot of albums could be a clearer path. In the streaming era, it can take a lot of plays to equal what a smaller number of album sales used to bring.
So artists diversify: merch, touring, brand deals, licensing, Patreon-style communities, VIP experiences. Music is still central, but the business model is broader.
Let's bring it back genre by genre for a second and talk about what stayed the same, because not everything is different.
In gospel, the heart of it, testimony, worship, encouragement, that's consistent. The sound evolves, the reach expands, but the purpose stays grounded.
In rap, it's always been about voice and perspective. The technology changes distribution, and trends come and go, but the core idea, telling your story and moving the culture, still drives it.
R&B is still about emotion first. Production styles shift, but that genre lives and dies on feeling, whether it's heartbreak, confidence, longing, joy.
Pop is still chasing the ultimate hook. The tools change, and the aesthetics change, but pop is about creating a moment that lots of people want to replay.
And country still leans on storytelling. Whether it's traditional or modern, the strongest country songs usually paint pictures you can see in your head.
So where are we now? We're in a world where an artist can be discovered from anywhere. Your local scene can become global overnight. But it's also more competitive because everyone has access.
And discovery isn't just radio anymore. It's playlists, algorithm recommendations, short-form clips, influencer posts, fandom accounts, reaction videos. A song can travel with no permission needed.
But it also means artists have to think about community. Who's really listening? Who's coming back? Because a viral hit is cool, but a loyal audience is a career.
If you're listening right now, think about your own life. In the 90s, what was your music routine? Radio on the way to school? CDs in a binder? And now, what is it? Playlists while you work? Finding new music from a friend's story post?
And what genre do you think adapted the best to the internet era? Gospel, rap, R&B, pop, or country? Because depending on how you define best, you could argue it 5 different ways.
That's the fun part. Music keeps changing because people keep changing. The tools, the platforms, the labels, the formats, it all evolves. But at the center, it's still the same human need to feel something, to say something, to connect.
And whether you discovered your favorite song on a scratched CD in 1998 or through an Instagram reel last week, that little moment when the music hits, that part hasn't changed at all.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with someone who still has a CD collection somewhere, and someone who's never owned a CD in their life. We'll catch you next time.